Hello, everyone. My name's Artemis Black, and we're going to have a look at the top 5 new skills that came to us with third season of Blood Bowl, specifically from skills-ish that are completely new. Obviously that does limit it a little bit. Let's be honest. I think they were like 12 new skills, and 2 of them were kind of unique skills turned into general skills. So it's not a great deal of choice here, but it is nice to talk about the new skills. I am doing it live on Twitch if people want to say hello, mum, etc. So there may be interruptions or answering questions. I do prefer doing it this way. It's a bit boring doing it by myself, to be honest. Just sitting quietly in my room talking to myself. So let's get on with the first of the skills. We have Lethal Flight. Look, like I said, it's slim pickings for a top 5 of new skills. Am I ever going to pick Lethal Flight? No, because I'm never going to play any of the teams that pick Lethal Flight. Is it loads of fun for the teams, for people who already play those teams? Hell yeah. It's not a serious skill. It's not a skill for people who play Blood Bowl any kind of competitive way, but it is a bunch of fun for people who play stunties in leagues. For those of you who don't know what it is, new, it's basically Mighty Blow for thrown stunties. If you throw a Nobbler, a Goblin, a Halfling, a Snotling, whatever, when they hit someone, it counts as Mighty Blow. You can add 1 to the armor or the injury after you've rolled it. It's pretty good for causing damage. Here's the problem with it. That missile's dead, right? When you throw a Snotling at someone, he rolls his own armor. So it's probably dead. Which is a problem if you've given it a 20 TV skill. Like, that's the issue with it. You might notice I've wrote a funny little word at the bottom there. Cannonballer. Oh, no, I haven't. I've wrote Cannaballer. Oh, my God, that looks like I want Snotlings that eat other Snotlings. Okay, I'm not fixing that typo. My idea for fixing Lethal Flight is a new positional called a Cannonballer. I don't know which team it'd go on, but I don't know why it doesn't exist. It goes perfectly with Lethal Flight. You have a stunty who's rocked up, decked in metal armor. Like, he can't move, like movement 3 or something. He's just shown up like gigantic metal helmet, metal shoulder pads, AV9, and he's at least AV9, right? Sorry, AV10 plus. And he's just there for like an auger, so probably a Nobbler works better on, an auger to run up and kick like a football and try to play like 10-pin bowling with the opponent's cage. Just kick him directly at the opponent's cage. You can make that by yourself by just adding armor, but it's shit, isn't it? It should exist. It should just exist. Why have Lethal Flight when everyone you throw dies? So if you're listening, Games Workshop, you can have that idea for free. Drop a star player in somewhere, or drop a new positional. Cannonballer. You can throw him as well if you want, I guess, but maybe only quick passes, right? Because he's so heavy. You can only quick pass with a kick or a throw. Frankly, I might play stunties if that was a thing. Number 4, not clearly very good, but it's free. That's the thing that's good about it. Sorry for the awning. It's completely free. Free skills are cool. It does need some adjustments. Like some actual adjustments. Oh, my condition is kicking my ass again as soon as I try to speak. For those who don't know, it's if you take an MNG plus from someone, I'm going to have to pause. Sorry about that. I know there isn't much of a pause in the video. There was in real life. So back to hatred. The adjustments it's going to need are that it's based on keywords, and keywords are not exactly smooth in the third season of Blood Bowl. So what happens is when someone MNGs you, you can get hatred, and you can pick the keyword of the player that damaged you, and you can have hatred for that player. Hatred itself is a bit rubbish. It's basically like brawler against them. It could be something better than that, couldn't it? It could be mighty blow against them, or something actually interesting to make up for the fact that you got damaged. So that could also maybe get FAQ'd in the future, but it is a free skill, so they probably don't want it being too good. But you do get to choose the keyword. You can't choose any positional keyword. It's got a list of ones you can't choose. So you can't choose like runner, blocker, etc. You can only choose the other keywords. Here's the issue with the other keywords. They're not uniform. There are very weird ones. For example, lots of things are human. Like, lots of things are human. Tomb Guardians are human. The Strength 5 Tomb Guardians have a human keyword, which is just weird. They're not humans, are they? In fact, lots of the undead do. All of the Tomb Kings team, I believe, have human and undead and zombie as keywords. Not just undead and zombie, human and undead. And human is incredibly spread out. Like, all the Chaos Warriors are human. So you'll probably just pick human if that ever comes up, which is a bit weird when you took an injury from a skeleton. To be like, oh, I hate humans now. Bull centaurs are dwarves. Animal is a keyword. So if you get fouled by a beer boar, you can hate foxes. I don't know why that's a thing. You just hate all animals. Except, no, actually not all animals, because Acorn is not an animal. He is specifically squirrel. So if Acorn kills you, you only ever hate Acorn because he's the only squirrel. If Rumbelow kills you, you don't hate animals either, even though the goat is the thing doing the damage, not Rumbelow on the back. Like the horns and stuff, they're all on the goat, right? So there's weird ones. Probably the weirdest ones are the star players. There's a bunch of star players that are basically unique. So Boa is Snake Man. Willow is Dryad. Zolcath is Zote. They're the only ones that exist. Swiftvine, one of the new ones, says Spite, not Sprite. No R. I don't know if that's a typo or they think it's Spite. I don't know. If we get another Sprite and it says Sprite, that'll make them unique to each other. To me, the weirdest one in the entire game is if you get killed, and of course you do get damaged by these, Dribble and Drull. I know it's drool, but I like saying Dribble and Drull for some reason. Dribble and Drull have skink as a keyword. Only skink, not lizard man. Whereas the skinks on a lizard man team don't have skink, they have lizard man. So if Dribble and Drull damage you and you get hatred, the only thing you hate is specifically Dribble and Drull, not all the other skinks. But if a beer boar fouls you, you can hate foxes. So like I said, it needs some adjustments. There needs to be some tweaking of keywords there. But other than that, it's a free skill, right? It's unlike the other stuff that's kind of annoying to keep track of. A free skill is not that annoying to keep track of. You just write it on your thing like any other skill and just remember it, right? If you happen to be playing a team that has one of those in, you're not going to forget it, are you? It's right there, just like you wouldn't forget he had Mighty Blow. So I absolutely don't mind hatred. I think it's fine. But there are only really 3 quality new additions to skills, and so we're moving into those now. This is the first one. Now we're talking, as I've written on there to remind me to say, Taunt. Taunt is basically, it's something that the community has been talking about as a skill for a very long time, because lots of skills have counters, right? Lots of skills have kind of like the reverse version of them, the anti version of them. Um, so frenzy exists. So taunt has been something we've been talking about for ages, to force a follow. And that's all it does. It just forces a follow. And as I've wrote there, look, the full potential is yet to be unlocked. I think taunt, when we get more into Fumble having third season rules, and should Blood Bowl 4, Warhammer Blood Bowl ever show up, I think taunt will actually be something that will be seen on a lot of different teams using in a lot of different ways. Like, because obviously it can pull apart a cage. Like, when you have teams against, like, you know, say Dark Elves or whatever, who harass a cage, they just block them off and stay in the cage. If you've got taunt on any of those linos or something, when they block you off, they have to follow. It pulls the cage apart. So that's pretty great as a thing. Obviously, it comes on big guys. Not big guys, but, you know, strength 4 guys. It's on big ends. So when you block them, if you just get pushes, you follow and you get 2 dice back. That's a use for it. Lino skills. Putting it on a lino and putting the lino on the LOS and then standing your killer or big guy directly behind them is a tactic that I think we'll see people try. The LOS has to take a block and follow onto the killer. They won't get a choice about it. Like, that's pretty cool as a possible tactic. I think lots of things can be done with taunt that we won't get to see whether or not the opportunity cost of taking taunt instead of a better skill or a different skill is worth it or not. Like, that's the big question that we have to answer with some playtesting. You won't see this playtesting done right now because the majority of games are always played in leagues and stuff, right? But we don't get to hear about them. These are just home games. The majority of games that we get to know about online and as part of the Blood Bowl community are currently NAF. And, like, other than big ends, nobody's picking taunt, right, in NAF style. But once we start getting into big leagues, once Fumble opens box, once Blood Bowl 4 actually exists, and we start having ladder and big online leagues, taunt will get tested out in all these different ways. And I think it could be a very interesting skill in the future. There are a number of different ways you could use taunt. You could even use it in, like, the sneakiest ways possible. Like, you could set up serfs, couldn't you? If your opponent doesn't have frenzy and he's 3 squares in, you can literally walk up to him with a taunt player and drag him into a surfable square. Like, there are loads of interesting usages for taunt. It's just whether or not those usages will be competitive enough to replace the regular skills you would normally give those players. So I'm very interested in seeing this play out. And similarly, actually, with the next skill, Monstrous Mouth. Not a new skill, but it might as well be. Same name, different skill. Chomp is the big thing, right? We have actually seen some testing of Chomp. J-Leave has posted about taking Chomp on Nurgle teams to actual tournaments as part of a NAF-style environment. And that's interesting, but I'd like to see a lot more of this. Nurgle are the best possible recipient for this. With foul appearance and stand firm and strength 4 on the bloaters, Nurgle bloaters with Chomp are the absolute best recipient for this, but not the only possible recipient for this. That's the thing, right? There are other ones, like Renegades could put it on a big guy. They could have a troll or an ogre with Monstrous Mouth. Like, it can happen, right? You can see this be a thing. And it's a very interesting skill. For those of you, again, who are not familiar, Chomp is basically, it's a 3+. You roll a 3+, straight 3+, similar to Hypnogaze, to chomp someone. And that's your action. It's a special action. and you just hold them in place. They cannot move. There's no dice rolls or anything. They cannot move until the player who chomped them is no longer marking them, which is why bloaters with their stand firm are the best recipient for it. They don't get to roll anything. Like it's not like tentacles. It's like super tentacles. You have to actually move the player who's chomped you off you, which is incredibly interesting as a skill, and again opens up all kinds of potential that is yet to be tested. Chomping the ball carrier, chomping people in place if you've got built one of your pestigores with frenzy to surf people. Like, it's so interesting. And that's the best type of new thing to add to Blood Bowl. It's stuff that has interest in multiple uses and isn't just a boring block skill or, a boring foul skill. Something that opens the door to a skill gap. Something that opens the door to decision trees and making it worth your while testing all these things out. The top skill, I don't think will surprise anyone. It is Bullseye. It's by far the best new skill, I think. The last two have all of that potential, but Bullseye is just straight up great. Just great. As I've wrote, it's a joke skill that's just not a joke. Because it's only going to really apply to stunty teams, right? It's only going to really apply to stunty teams. I will say that at the moment, Bullseye specifically says throw teammate only. So Augur runt punters can't take it. Will that be FAQ'd? Very likely. Because it's a bit weird that they can't take it. But not guaranteed, right? It might not be a mistake. So we will see if that's a thing. But, unless you're on Fumble, who have randomly house ruled that runt punters can take Bullseye. No idea why. Weird argument for it is just that it's probably a mistake. That's not an argument. But whatever. They've done it. It's there. It's Krista's website. I've got no idea why he did that. So the rule is if you do a superb throw, it doesn't scatter at all. It hits the target square you aim at. So it's a 6 for anyone, by the way, even if they am it's a 6+ for anyone at any range. But a quick pass, it means that you just use your passing stat. So 3 squares, you just use your passing stat. And a short pass is -1. Remember that tree men come with strong arm. So even though they got passing of 5, strong arm gives them +1, so it's essentially a passing of 4. Augurs come with a passing of 4. Trolls come with a passing of 5. But Ripper comes with a passing of 4 and Bullseye. So Ripper has now become the star player, in my opinion. I think now, we used to be do I take Ripper? Do I take Varag? I think you just take Ripper. It's automatic, which is a problem because that means that Tabletop are going to ban him, megastar him. He's not going to get used to it. So Tabletop not going to have this much use from it. But give in Bullseye, if you do like to play stunties in Tabletop, give in Bullseye to your runt punter once it's allowed, or to one of your augurs or whatever, is actually a legitimate stat. It's a legitimate stat, a legitimate pick in NAF style even, because it's so good. Augurs don't have loner. They just run up, pick up a random knoblaugh, and throw it 3 squares, and on 50% chance it hits the square. That's a cage broken. Not only that, it then bounces. If it's a cage, like a YouTube cage, an X cage, there's a 1 in 8 chance it lands on the ball. I mean, I'm assuming he's not 3 squares away from the ball. If he is, then he's going to hit the ball, and then 50-50 chance to hit the cage. What do you mean? What does this say, Leet? About what? So this is a legitimate skill that will be very, very annoying to work around whenever you're playing stunt. Playing stunties is already annoying. Look, I know lots of you out there love playing stunties, but if you're playing like competitive Blood Bowl, having your opponent rock up with stunties is very annoying because they lean into the variance, and you can't do anything against variance. Like skill doesn't counter variance. There's no amount of practice in Blood Bowl counters a goblin bomber who never misses, a chainsaw that never rolls a one and kills you. You know, there's no counter skill to the worst teams in Blood Bowl. You just have to hope they don't roll well. They either dice people or lose. And this helps them dice people a lot. Oh, the actual skill Bullseye, Leet, I said at the start. It's if you make a superb throw, so if you hit your passing stat, it doesn't scatter. So it hits the square you aim at. Before, by the way, if you wanted to throw into a cage and hit the ball carrier, you would pick one of the squares around the ball carrier because it's actually a little bit more likely to hit the square next to the square you aim at than the one you aim at. But now, with Bullseye like existing, you aim at the actual square. Are you sure you mean Violent Innovator and not Lethal Flight, Bucky? Yeah, Lethal Flight was on the list. It's fine. So yeah, this combines with number 5, right? This combines with number 5. So if you do happen to have a Lethal Flight on the team, you can literally hit the ball carrier with a Mighty Blow missile 50% of the time. And also remember that Ripper comes with his, what's it called? What's the skill called? His Professor's reroll. Forgot what it's called. He can re-roll the dice. So that's a 75%. Thank you. Thinking Man's Troll. That's a 75% sack of the ball, which is absolutely wild. So yeah, this is the top new skill. I'm not suggesting that it's going to be the best new skill because it is basically going to only be taken by stunty teams, whereas Nurgle are one of the best teams in third season. So Monstrous Mouth and maybe even Taunt are going to show up more in competitive matches at the top end of the skill spectrum. But this will help the bottom end of the races do things. It'll be very, very annoying to run into it. Very annoying. And remember that leagues and ladders and stuff like that don't ban star players. The megastar thing doesn't matter. So Ripper's an auto pick. Yeah, you could see it tried out on other things like Old World Alliance, etc. I doubt they will, but you could see it. Like it is one of those things similar to like Pile Driver on a Snotling pump wagon that is fun and viable. Maybe not like, optimal, but fun and viable is a very good combo for people playing Blood Bowl. And that's it. There's no other good skills. I mean, technically, it's not even 5 good skills. The hatred is just okay. But when they added like a full 12 new skills, getting through, well, not even 12, was it kind of 10 new skills? The other 2 were unique skills turned into regular skills. 3 being good, being actively good, and will be used a lot. It's a pretty good hit rate for Games Workshop. We've had a lot worse hit rates in the past of new stuff. But I suspect when third season hits the places where I get to play a lot with it, Monstrous Mouth and Taunt will definitely be tried out a lot. Should I ever play stunties? Maybe I take Bullseye. I probably don't. Well, with every top 5 list, there's a bottom 5 list, Bucky, so may wait a few days for that. Anyway, as you see there, this was done live on Twitch. Everyone say hello, mum. If you want to come and follow us there or watch us there, you can. Don't expect any official competitions to go well, but we will be playing in unofficial competitions and playing on Fumble. And if you are just here on YouTube, don't forget to press all the buttons that you should press. Buttons, bells, likes, subscribes, everything. Obviously, as I just said, there's going to be another video to counter this, the bottom. But then there's going to be some interesting videos. Not that these aren't interesting. They immediately diss myself. The channel's going to get an extra section of videos. So on top of these fun listicles and all the uploads of, I don't want to say top tier gaming, but you know, competitive Blood Bowl competitions, there's going to be a third section called the Penguin Academy, hence old Coach Hopper there. And I will do a video to explain all of that to come after the next listicle probably. So in about a week, maybe, I will do a full video explaining the new extra section to the channel and see how interested people are in this, how popular it gets, because it's going to take a bit more work than these do. I'm just recording this, as you can tell, in my regular stream, but that's going to take some work, going to take some planning, some scripting. So I need to know whether or not it's actually worth putting the effort in. I'm going to try it regardless, right? Even if I don't get feedback on the explanatory video, I'll try it regardless, and I will mention, like, please give me feedback. I know most people don't want to bother writing YouTube comments and things, but it will be very, very helpful to get the feedback on that stuff so that I know that it's worth carrying on with it. But I'll tell you more about that in a week. And that's it. We will see you in the next video. It'll probably be a bunch of matches between this and the next listicle. Not all of you watch the matches, I understand that, but please do, by the way. You can learn Blood Bowl and everything. I will see you there.